A warm welcome back, fellow collectors. This is case file number 4, Dark Dragonite. It may appear at first glance that this Dark Dragonite is in reasonable condition, some mild scratching to the front, some light whitening to the edges on the reverse, and a bit of whitening to the corners. This may not continue to be the case. Let's begin the inspection and start with the centering. As we move on from looking at Dragonite's beautiful face, whilst looking at the corners, you might not notice the corner to start with, you'll notice the dirt marks. As we inspect the edges and corners on the front of the card the whole way round, you will continue to notice these marks. Some of them are obvious to the naked eye, but more reveal themselves under the macro lens. If you can get past looking at the pot marks, you will notice that on the edges of the card there is some rolling on them. The corners are nicely cut, but the bottom left corner has rolled over and revealed the holographic layer underneath, as has the bottom right corner. As we go up the right hand side, you'll notice that this is the worst edge on the front. Sadly, this type of edge damage isn't something we are able to rectify. As we look at the reverse of the card under mild magnification, you will see that a lot more whitening and scratches are revealed than what you could see with the naked eye. There's not enough blue Sharpie on the planet to fix this whitening. If you go back to the first shot of this card, which was filmed at around a foot away from the camera in 4K, I think you'd struggle to see all this whitening even at that level of recording. Please tell me in the comments how many times you've seen someone say how well centered the card is when they're selling it on the internet. Everyone should really invest a couple of quid in a centering tool because it leaves nowhere for a card to hide. You can't change the camera angle and make it look better than what it is. As you can clearly see, the centering on this card is pretty good. And the same appears to go for the back. Now we've had a good look at the corners and edges, and we can see with the naked eye how bad these issues actually are. What other issues can you see with the card? I can see some very tiny marks in this corner here and a little bit along this edge. The good thing about a microscope is that it always tells the truth about what you're seeing. A lot of these scratches cannot be seen with the naked eye. This big one here can be. Sometimes it can be quite hard to tell what's superficial and what isn't. You might notice the bark that looks like a slight burn. I'm quite worried about that. What do you think? I'm more concerned about this mark than what I am the deep scratches. Let's see the damage on the reverse of the card. Sometimes it's no fun looking under the microscope because it just shows way too much. I didn't notice any of this when I was looking at the card, to be honest. It's a lot dirtier than what I thought. Now the full inspection process is complete, it's time to get on with reviving the card. We know we can't do anything about the corners, edges or whitening, so let's proceed with trying to improve the scratches. Where I'm pointing out with the Q-tip is where I'm going to focus the efforts on scratch removal. But before we get to polishing, we actually need to get this card cleaned up. This is one of the most satisfying parts about reviving a card, and it's actually starting the initial clean. The difference it makes is absolutely fantastic. You'll see the card improving in moments here, just as the surface level of grime is removed. Once again, I'll be using the range from Collectibles for the revival of this card. This is Microscope that I'm applying at the minute, which is a cleaner. I'm not sponsored or affiliated by Collectibles, but I do enjoy using their products, and they seem to be very effective for getting your cards looking fantastic. The card's looking better already. We can carry on refining it further. Let's keep going and see what we can do. We've just applied a few drops of Experiment 626 by Collectibles. This is a very mild polish, suitable for cards, works really well. You can still overdo it, so make sure you're always using really light pressure. We are going to focus on the areas where we know the scratches are the deepest. Still, go really light. It's very beneficial to polish under magnification because it allows you to focus on the more heavily scratched areas, and you can also see the polish change colour quicker if you do over polish the area. If you do ever see the polish change colour, you need to stop immediately. Now, I know that polishing cards is an extremely controversial topic. People are for it, people are against it. The results here quite obviously speak for themselves. Really curious to see where you guys stand on that debate. I'm very firmly in the camp of improvement rather than alteration. A couple of these blank spots you would have seen with the naked eye on the initial glamour shots. Maybe have a scroll back and see if you can see them again. The ones on the top left corner, sort of running in line with the white top of the card, just above that really. I don't think you would have seen them. A grader would have. This is a super stubborn bit of grime. It just does not want to come out. I'm borderline ready to stop. The main skill is knowing when to stop. Fortunately, this piece of grime is now released and we can move on to the next part. The microscope is doing its work again. A lot of these marks you could not see with a naked eye. It doesn't matter what angle you hold the card at, what lighting you have, you're just not going to see these. The issue is a grader will see them. I've just sped the footage up 1,000 times and you're about to see how long it can take to go through a card properly to clean off the dirt on just the edges. I've needed to change the angle a couple of times just to get a little bit more purchase while holding the card in place. You'll also begin to notice the microscope revealing the severe edge damage on the front of the card. Now I'm thinking about can we reduce that big scratch a little bit more. This is the last time I'll be applying any polish to the card. I'm about to use a polishing block which is fantastic at removing any microscopic swirl marks that might have been left during the initial polishing process. I'm also going to apply a tiny bit of polish to the reverse of the card. This is fantastic for removing any stubborn grime. A quick buff on the front and back with a microfiber, make sure we remove any polish before we move to the last stage. This is Dazzling Gleam by Coatless Balls. Once again, this is a wax product, really great at helping to protect your card. Also brings out the luster in the hollow. I'm just reaching for the final clean microfiber cloth. Gonna buff off the rest of this product and we'll have a look how it's turned out. And there we have it, the finished card. I think it looks 10 times better than what it did before. The big scratch is still there, but definitely reduced. The hollow looks great, it looks clean, it looks fresh. Would you send it in for grading? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.